Hey guys, in this video we're gonna talk about Krasnodar Krai, which is a region in Russia located in the very south. Now Krai in Russian is the same as a state in the US. The region has a population of 5.6 million. Russia is often associated with snow and freezing cold temperatures, but Krasnodar Krai is different. Summers are long and hot and winters are short. Russians informally call this region Kuban because of the Kuban River. The northern part of the region is mostly flat, and the south has a lot of mountains and has a huge coastline of 740 kilometers along the Black Sea. The height of some of the mountains exceed 3,000 meters or 9,800 feet. The Black Sea coast stretches from the Kerch Strait to the border with Abkhazia and is protected by the Caucasus Mountains from the cold northern winds. The history of this area is complicated, involving constant wars and times when it was dominated by different groups of people, like the Khazars, the Circassians, Georgians, and the Russians coming here eventually in the 19th century. The economy is based on heavy industry, agriculture, and tourism. The region is rich in natural resources. There are more than 60 types of minerals discovered here. Reserves of oil, natural gas, marble, limestone, sandstone, gravel, iron, and lots more. This is the oldest oil-producing region of Russia. Oil production started all the way back in 1865. This is also a very important agricultural region of the country and is one of the leading producers of grain, sugar beet, sunflower seeds, and grape wines. Today, tourism is becoming an important part of the economy and accounts for 14% of the gross regional product. By the way, that is 10 times more than the country average. Let's take a look at some of the cities. The largest city is Krasnodar. The city's population just exceeded 1 million, which is a big deal in Russia, because when a city hits 1 million mark, it gets certain privileges from the federal government. In the last 10 years, tens of thousands of people from colder regions of Russia started moving to Krasnodar, causing a boom in residential construction, but at the same time causing traffic congestion problems that the city had never faced before. The city is just 2 hours away from the Black Sea, so it's clear why people want to live here. The city is famous for its love for soccer and has a wonderful brand new soccer stadium. Sochi is the second largest city, with a population of 424,000 people. The city was the host of 2014 Winter Olympics, which brought never-before-seen amounts of infrastructure investments. Sochi ended up with new roads, bridges, and tunnels. Some residents were happy about it, and some were not. But now it has an Olympic park with fancy housing neighborhoods around it, Krasnaya Polyana village with world-class ski resorts, and more. There are lots of walking and biking trails, horse riding, and paragliding, lots of activities. In the wintertime, this place can challenge some of the best French and Austrian ski resorts. Krasnaya Polyana is sited against the scenic backdrop of the Caucasus Mountains, which exceed 2,000 meters in elevation. Novorossiysk is a port city on the Black Sea. It has a long promenade, which is dotted with monuments. Docked nearby, the decommissioned Mikhail Kutuzov cruiser ship is part of the country's Central Naval Museum. Although the city's population is growing, overall, life is not that easy here. A very modest level of average salary will tell you why. Look who's hiring. You want to work for a city prison? Sure, sounds like a dream. Novorossiysk is Russia's main port on the Black Sea and is one of the few cities awarded the title of the Hero City. Right next to it is an absolutely beautiful and the largest lake in the region called Lake Abrau. It's located in the wine-making region of Abrau-Durso. This place is a favorite summer destination for many. Another resort town is Anapa. Anapa has beautiful, mostly sandy beaches. It's an attractive and budget-friendly option for Russians who have limited amount of vacation money. Moving further, Gelendzhik. It's a Russian resort town on the Black Sea, overlooking Gelendzhik Bay. The mountaintop Olympus Park includes an amphitheater and a large Ferris wheel. Many new neighborhoods have been built recently. Arguably, one of the most comfortable cities on the coast. Tuapse is a small town south of Gelendzhik and north of Sochi. Tuapse is a seaport, and it's one of those towns where nothing seems to be happening. The fishermen come to the same port early in the morning, every morning. There are many more smaller towns like Garachi Kluch, with many health resorts, or sanatoria as they're called here. There are many nationalities living in Krasnodar Krai: Russians, Ukrainians, the Adai, and the Armenians, who have lived in the region since at least the 18th century. Of course, I should mention Kuban Cossacks. Most of the Kuban Cossacks are descendants of different major groups of Cossacks. These men have always been noted for their horsemanship and military skills, but today their role in patrolling the city streets is very questionable. Nature is so diverse. Part of the territory of the region is occupied by steppes, lots of forests, oak trees, pine trees, maple trees, and willows.
Now this is one big tree, I'll tell you that.
Overall, the region has good ecology. The main source of pollution in large cities is car emissions. Several lines of Russian railways cross the region and link it with other regions and countries. Roads are of decent quality, especially by Russian standards. There are several airports in the region, including Krasnodar International Airport and Sochi International Airport. Krasnodar Krai at this time cannot compete with world tourist destinations, mainly because it lacks the modern infrastructure and the hospitality industry is just developing. But there are other reasons to like this part of Russia. For many Russians, competitive prices is what really matters. There are many hidden gems if you look around. Places like this one, a small settlement called Nebuk. It's just as good as Greece. I mean, look at this hotel, an outdoor heated pool and a beautiful beach. Lots of Russians who are lucky enough to have traveled the world avoid this region and are willing to pay extra money just to go abroad, because they can't stand bad infrastructure and places like this, which occasionally you will come across. I know it's not everywhere, but still, I'm sure the region has potential, but the coast cities have to do a better job of keeping the beaches clean. At times, driving these mountain roads, you might be thinking, am I in one of those southern states in the US like Georgia or Tennessee? Because nature is so similar and beautiful. Enormous national parks, waterfalls, mountains. You can't help but be taken aback by their beauty. And when their tops are capped with snow, oh my God. Gorgeous nature scenery, dangerous cliffs. Make sure you drive through the countryside and get lost in these beautiful sunflower fields. Or, if you prefer red poppies flower fields. Green meadows, and even tea plantations. Who would have thought Russia's got tea plantations? And hundreds of kilometers of the beautiful coastline. This is what makes the Russian South so special. I hope this video gave you an idea of what Russian South is like. Thanks for watching and stay tuned.